Hey, I'm Curtis Stone. Now, I decided that I wanted to give you the recipe for the best chocolate brownies in the world. So I went through all of my books and then I rang my friend Rochelle and asked her to cook them for me. And hers was better than mine. So Rochelle, I've stolen your recipe. Thank you, my darling. Mwah, mwah, mwah. This is out to you. You get a glass bowl and you sit it over a little pot of hot water, okay? I've got some unsweetened chocolate here, which is the bitter stuff. So this is like the 70% unsweetened chocolate with just a tiny bit of butter, like a stick and a half. You put those two into your bowl above the hot water, and what you're going to do is just slowly melt the chocolate and the butter together. So mix these two together. I'm going to remove my bowl from my hot pot of water, and then look at that, there's no lumps, and if there's the odd one, they will be taken care of by the heat of my chocolate and butter as they become one in my pot. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Then we're going to flavour it with just a little bit of the vanilla extract, like a teaspoon. Okay, put that down, give it a mix. I'm going to combine all of the sugar with my whisk and give it a good stir, so just whisk that in. Okay. Perfect. So now, of course, it's nice and sweet. Then I've got a little bit of salt. I'm going to put a good pinch of the salt. The salt's really important. It brings out a certain quality in brownies that you just can't get without it. So make sure you put in your pinch of salt and then give it a good whisk around. Okay, now that it's had a couple of minutes just to cool itself, what you do is pick up your eggs and just one by one, okay? So whisk it as you drop it in. Pick up your flour and add your flour all at once. Now, the key to the flour is you don't want to exercise the gluten in the flour. So don't overmix it because you're going to end up with hard brownies, heavy brownies. So just with your whisk, just gently work it through. You don't want to do too much exercise. And that's all you need. Once there's no lumps, you're good to go. Next we get the walnuts, right? Now these are all broken up, so you want to just throw those in. We're going to fold these through. The walnuts give it a really nice taste and a really great texture as well. And we're also going to put these nice big chocolate chunks. Now this is sweetened chocolate. This isn't the unsweetened chocolate, so mix that in as well. Okay, so once you're happy with your batter, which I certainly am, nice and lumpy, what you're going to do is bring over your little tin. Now the tin that I've just lined with foil and then quickly run a brush with some butter over it. You're going to just pick it up and scoop that whole thing in. And then bring this over, it goes into the oven 30 minutes for 350 degrees. If you haven't worked it out, I'm a little bit excited about the brownies. They're now ready. I can tell by just looking at them. If you're a little bit unsure, get a skewer and just poke it in and it should come out clean. What you do once they come out, 30 minutes, is you put them up here onto a cooling rack so that the air can circulate and it's going to cool down evenly. While that happens, I'm going to make the topping. I have a cup and a half of cream, thereabouts. I'm going to pour half a cup into a little saucepan. Now, most people don't put much on the top of brownies, but I find these particular ones very rich. So this is to actually lighten it up a bit. So what I'm going to do is just chop my mint and throw it straight into the cream that you've got in your little saucepan there. Grab your bowl, throw your chocolate in there, and then we're going to strain our minty cream through and into that, which is going to melt the chocolate and turn it into a ganache, which is a fancy word for chocolate and cream mixed together. In this pot over here, in this bowl, what I'm going to do is take the rest of my cream and whisk it. We're going to turn it into whipped cream. So we've got a cup of cream, and you just whisk away like this. Right. So, once your cream just starts to simmer, you don't want it to boil, but as soon as you see that tiny little bit of a simmer, you know that you're good. So what you do next is you pick up your bowl, pick up your strainer, and you just pour your cream straight through there. Give it a little shake. Perfect. Pick up a little spatula and you just want to stir that chocolate and cream together, and it's going to melt the chocolate, that heat of the cream. You take your ganache and you just pour it straight over your whipped cream, and then just fold that through your whipped cream like so, And it's almost like we're making a bit of a chocolate mousse here. Okay, so just whisk that up to stiffen it up a touch, and then pop it into the fridge, which is going to firm it up even more. And then once that's fully cooled, we're going to cut it up and dress it with this. All right, so take your brownies, have a look how they look. Oh, look at that, yum. What we need to do now is just get our topping out of the fridge. So our little minty chocolate cream. And all I'm going to do, this is super rustic, I'm just going to put like a little spoon on each one. It doesn't have to be loads and loads, just a little bit like that, just to sort of swirl around. I'm just going to pick them up. You serve them just like that. You might want to grab a sprig of mint and stick that in there. Look at that. I'm Curtis Stone, and these are the greatest brownies in the world.